Well, hello. Welcome to my kitchen at our cabin. Today, my husband and I have a craving for something that we are not able to get at our cabin, and that is hot, fresh donuts. Well, I say we can't get them. We definitely can get them if I make them. And I am going to show you how simple and easy it is to make hot, delicious donuts in your kitchen. I'm starting with one of my absolute favorite things, and that is this frozen bread dough. If you've watched any of my videos, you know this is one of my favorite things in the world. Frozen bread dough is a huge convenience and can be used for all sorts of things. I use it for my pizza. Check out my make your own pizza video. And I use it for cinnamon rolls. It is excellent in cinnamon rolls, and it's equally as good for these donuts. Now, my mother used to make donuts from scratch, and they were out of this world. But I don't have that much time. I want to spend it outside, and plus it takes a lot of preparation. With this, as long as I let my bread dough thaw out, I can have them at any time. My husband is out plowing this morning. He is getting ready for our summer crops, and he grabbed a quick cup of coffee this morning, and he's out on the tractor, which don't feel sorry for him. He loves it. Now, this ready dough comes with 3 loaves, and I've already used one, and I thawed out 2 loaves because we're going to grill some steaks later, and I am going to use that one for some fresh bread later. Steaks, baked potato, fresh bread. You know that is going to be good. So I'm going to put this back in my package. Not going to go in there easily, is it? And I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and take it out later when we're ready for it. So here is my loaf, and this will make more than enough donuts for my husband and I. I'm sure we'll have a few leftovers, and I may take a few over to our neighbor. They're such great neighbors. I love to do things for them. Now, I have some flour here that I'm using, and I am just getting a good bit of flour on this dough because I am about to roll it out. You grab my rolling pin. Do not laugh at my rolling pin. I have several of these smaller pins, and I've used them with my grandchildren. I love to make pizza with them. They love it. And I have several of these as well as little aprons for them. And we make pizzas out of these, and these are perfect for their little hands. So I just brought one of these up to the cabin because I don't have a lot of space here. I have to be really, really creative because, as you can see, my kitchen's fairly small. I do have some more cabinets on the other side of my refrigerator, but we can't keep a lot of stuff here. But this works out fine. And I'm just rolling this out. I'm going to get this to about 1/2 inch thick. I've got some wax paper, and once I cut my donuts out, I am going to lay them on this wax paper. I'm just going to help this out a little bit and stretch it. I don't want to overwork it because it'll have a tendency to get tough when you do that. So, trying to be very gentle. Now, see this nice piece? I have got my donut cutter outer, and I am dipping that into my flour. And there we go. And donut. I am making glazed donuts as well as a chocolate glaze. That is my husband's absolute favorite. Our Krispy Kreme has these chocolate glazed donuts once a month. It's the first Friday of the month. And they're closed right now. They have been remodeling in Dothan. We are so excited about them reopening. They're about to do that soon. But he loves the chocolate glazed donuts, and I have pretty much come up with a recipe that I think is almost just as good. Look at these. Aren't they pretty? And just wait until you taste them. Your kids will absolutely love them. All right, now I'm going to do a couple of different things. I am going to take this and grab my knife, and I'm just going to cut off some of those ends and make it even. And these donut holes are going to be equally delicious. As a matter of fact, that happens to be my personal favorite. There is just nothing like that bite that is the perfect size. Problem is, I want to eat all of them. Okay, I've got my dough here, and I am going to just get a little bit more flour, make sure that it doesn't stick. Roll it out just a little bit. And I am going to twist these. And make some little donut twists with my leftovers. How about that? My mother used to make, like I said, the homemade from scratch donuts, but something that she also did was get those canned biscuits and fry them up and roll them in the cinnamon sugar. Oh, those are so good. But this is so much better. If you ever do this, you'll not use canned biscuits again. Now I'm going to cut these in about this size because I want to dip these in my glaze, so I don't want them too large or they won't fit in my bowl. And I'm taking these ends and I'm just going to crimp these together. And I've got my little twists. How about that? They don't have to be perfect. My husband doesn't care that they're not the prettiest donuts in the world, but I guarantee you that what they're missing in beauty, they definitely make up for in taste. There we go. I want my donuts to sit and just rest for a few minutes, so it's the perfect time to make the glaze. Let me get this cleaned up and I'll show you how we're going to do that. This glaze recipe is so easy and it is delicious. I'm starting with a stick of butter. This is salted butter. A little salt makes everything sweeter. Love salted butter. You know, one time we came to the cabin and we ran out of butter, and I just so happened to have some whipping cream. I decided, well, you know what? I will just make us some butter. So I made the butter with the heavy whipping cream and a little bit of salt. And my husband was so impressed with that. He told everybody, my wife made butter. Little does he know how easy that is to do. But I will say that it was so good. There's something about fresh butter, fresh anything, that just makes everything better. I am going to microwave this butter until it melts. I'm going to put a paper towel over that because butter is notorious for making a mess in the microwave. I have learned the hard way, believe me. I'm going to start with a minute and I'll be right back. It looks like a minute was just right. This butter is nice and melted. Now to this, I am going to add, or actually I'm going to start with adding about a cup of confectioner's sugar. And that is going right in. Now I'll use more than a cup, but I like to start with a cup and just see how it goes. And this looks great. I can tell by looking at this that I am going to need about another cup. So in it goes. It is such a beautiful morning. I've got the windows open, the birds are chirping. I don't know if you can hear them. And we have hummingbirds galore. I'll show you at the end of the video all my hummingbird feeders. I have got a slew of them. I've got one right here and one on the balcony here. And they come and visit me all day long. Well, this looks just right. I know that looks clumpy, but I am going to add some of this condensed milk. Now, if I were making these at home, I would use heavy cream. If you have heavy cream, then by all means use that. There is nothing better than heavy cream in this glaze, but I forgot it. And I always have canned milk here. I've canned everything because that keeps very well. I'm just going to stir this in. Get it nice and smooth. Make sure all of that butter is mixed in. This looks so good. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of vanilla, probably a teaspoon, and I'm going to eyeball that. Might have been a little bit more than a teaspoon, but that is okay. And something else that's delicious in this is maple syrup, real maple syrup. That is so good. Already smelling like Krispy Kreme. Okay, this looks just great. Set my sugar aside here. Now I've got another bowl, and what I'm going to do is take some of this glaze and put it in this bowl. Uh-oh. That is so good. Oh my gosh, that's good. Those donuts are going to be fabulous. Now, I've got some cocoa powder, and I am going to take about 1/2 of a tablespoon. I'll start with that. and add it right to this glaze. Just stir that in. Oh, look at this. My husband is going to be so happy, and so am I. Look at that perfect chocolate glaze. Taste it. That is so good. I don't need to do one other thing to it. I am going to put these right here and let them sit. And I've got some peanut oil in a cast iron skillet. I've added 2 fingers of oil. And what I mean by that is the depth of the oil in my pan equals to 2 fingers. It's an easy way to measure the oil. And I'm putting my temperature on medium high. And I'm going to let this heat up. And I've also improvised. I've got a pan. I don't have a cooling rack here, but I do have these little things that we put on the grill when we smoke something. And I'm using one of those over my pan, and I'll put my donuts right on top, and the glaze will drip down. And we may use that glaze that drips down too. I don't want any of these to go to waste. So I'm gonna let that heat up. And we're about to have donuts, folks. I can hardly wait. My oil is getting hot. Got my island here. I love this island. It actually has 2 sides that come up and enlarges it, as well as is on wheels. So it is just perfect for this kitchen. I am going to test this oil with just a little piece of this dough. Oh, it's perfect. I'm going to fry them 2 at a time. The reason why is because I am going to dip these immediately when they come out of the oil. I don't want to do too many at one time, because if I do, I'm not going to be able to dip them into the glaze when they're hot. Look at these. And you want to cook these until they're golden brown. They're going to cook really, really fast. Look at that. I'll dip the glaze first, and that is going right in. And there it goes. Look at this. This glaze will harden as it cools, and it's so good. Last but not least, I've got my donut holes. And let's see here. I always keep cinnamon sugar here. Always, always, always. My husband loves cinnamon sugar toast. He loves it on his French toast. And I happen to love this. It is my favorite. Just mix a little cinnamon in with your granulated sugar. Just put it in an airtight container and use it when you want it. All right, out these come. And I'll take a spoon. Just cover them all up. I'm sorry. I just cannot wait another minute. You got to give me a minute on this. This pillowy, soft, sweet creation is absolutely delicious. You have to make these. Well, I'm going to get these packed up and take them to him after I finish eating this one. I'm going to go grab some coffee and I'll see you back here in a minute. Well, believe it or not, there are plenty of donuts left for my husband. I have to admit that it was very tempting to eat them all. Yes, I said that. Well, I'm packing him up a basket and I'm going to have a snack with him, and I've got some coffee here, some napkins because he's going to need them with these donuts, and I have a feeling that since he's on that tractor, he is going to want some water. And last but not least, the donuts. Honey, come here. Come here. You ready to go deliver some breakfast with me? I think she's sad that there's not puppy treats in here. Thank you so much for joining me today. You are such a blessing to me. If you like this video, press that like button, share it with your friends, spread the love. Ooh, she's spreading the love. Oh my goodness, those sweet kisses. Nothing better, except maybe a kiss from my husband. Listen, y'all have a great day. We'll see you next time.
Did you see that, honey?